Today we're going to talk about tiny houses. Do you know about tiny houses?
I don't, but they're tiny and cute.
They're adorable. Hi everyone, today we're going to talk about tiny houses. I'm Dan D and Amy V.
Hi.
So, tiny houses.
Yeah.
There's this movement. Now, I don't know a lot about tiny houses.
I don't. I watched videos on Facebook about tiny houses.
I saw a documentary on Netflix.
Did you?
Yeah, so I think we're professionals now.
Totally.
We're tiny house specialists. So, tiny houses, as you know, are essentially what they're called, tiny little houses.
Yeah.
Usually about 200 to 500 square feet. And I think that this is a great idea because I think people right now live in way more house than they actually need.
Very extravagant.
Very extravagant. This you know,
I don't want to clean a big house. I don't have the energy to clean a big house.
They don't use
There's 5 bathrooms that they don't use.
Yeah, does everyone really need their own
You can
bathroom?
stay in the 11th bedroom.
Yeah, why? Why have a formal dining room that you don't use?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, you have that party once a year.
Seems excessive.
It does.
Yeah.
But
Tiny houses, though.
Tiny houses, that's where it's at. So, I guess now, there's some rules with tiny houses. Like, the government won't let you build them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have to be on trailers. So, kind of like mobile houses,
Okay.
which I think is kind of ridiculous.
Was that a city bylaw?
It's like a provincial bylaw.
Is it?
It might even be like across Canada. Now, the documentaries and stuff that I saw were all primarily based in the States.
Right.
Because there's a kind of a movement going on there for tiny houses. People want to get out of debt. They don't want giant mortgages. So they build these tiny little houses, and usually they have to put them on like a friend's land or something like that because you can't get a permit to build one on a regular piece of land.
That's a problem.
It is a problem. There's a minimum square footage that you have to abide by to build a house.
I don't like that.
Yeah, why? Why can't you just buy your land, build the house the size that you want it, and be happy with that?
Or like a commune, right? Like everybody splits, buy a big piece of land, and you all buy tiny houses.
Yeah, like a little community.
Build tiny houses.
You kind of do a subdivision, so that way when you own your tiny house, you own the lot and everything as well.
Like a co-op, which are co-ops are really amazing. And
co-ops are amazing,
more.
but people don't jump into co-ops. I think a lot of people just don't understand co-ops.
Yeah, maybe we should talk about that one day.
Yeah, we should have a co-op video.
Yeah.
But, so these tiny little houses, they're usually like a 1 to 2 bedroom type thing, but they're not real bedrooms, they're just lofts. And everything in it does double duty, so you got like kitchen table, you know, coffee table, it's all kind of built into one. The heat source is usually propane, depending where you are, and there's electric as well. So, but it doesn't cost a lot to heat because you have a lot of small space. But the thing I do like about them is it forces people to go outside.
Yes,
a lot more. They have so much room outside. They don't want to be cramped up in their tiny little house, so they go outside.
They're claustrophobic.
Yeah, their kids go outside, which is like this new phenomenon.
I know, right? Like kids, like when I was a kid, we weren't allowed in the house. Like maybe Saturday morning cartoons for a little bit, and then it was like, get out of the house, get on your bikes, go. We'll see you at supper time.
My mom used to purposely vacuum Saturday morning
to get you out.
To get out of the house because I couldn't watch Transformers.
See, if there's any young kids watching this, they're gonna be like, "What? That sounds terrible."
Yeah. You know, my kids now, they don't even play video games. They watch people play video games on YouTube.
I know. My daughter did it with Littlest Pet Shops. She would watch people play with Littlest Pet Shops.
Yeah.
And the video games.
I don't get it. I bought a PlayStation so they could watch YouTube on it. To watch video games. It just seems a little bit bizarre.
By the way, my daughter, so awesome, has a YouTube video channel, I guess. You can subscribe to that one.
What's it called?
Miss Kayla with a C.
Miss Kayla with a C.
Cayla VV. That's her.
What does she talk about on her channel?
I don't know. I'm a bad mom. I don't know.
So would you live in a tiny house?
I live in a tiny apartment, so I think it would be cool to have a tiny house.
But your apartment would be like twice the size of one of these tiny houses.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
It would take some getting used to.
I have to get used to it, yeah.
But you would minimize your life incredibly.
Yeah.
Because, there's no room for storage. What you have is what you're going to use and no extra.
The thing I like about the tiny house movement, though, is that it does help. We could really look at eradicating homelessness, I think, with these tiny houses. They've actually done it in some areas down in the States where they've bought, the government has bought some land and built tiny houses and put homeless, people who are at risk of homelessness in to these tiny houses. And it actually ends up being much cheaper for the government to house people rather than keep them in shelters or prison or hospitals.
So what would we need to bring a movement like that to our community here in Kingston? Obviously, we would need to have some sort of chunk of land. Doesn't need to be huge because it's just tiny houses and we're just starting out. So something like 10 acres or something like that.
Well, Kingston does have what is called land banks. So there's specific pieces of land in the city that are dedicated for low income units. So that's something, we could maybe put some pressure on city council to look at. And see what the cost would be to build some of these tiny houses.
Yeah, because essentially we want ownership in these tiny houses. We don't want them rented out.
Right.
We don't want the city to own them and then rent them out to who they feel deserves them as like a low income situation.
Talk to Habitat for Humanity. They do.
They could build them, something like that.
For people,
and then so you could purchase the land and the house. The house costs probably about $5,000 to build yourself. Right. So if you say $10,000 for a build, and then you're buying 10 acres and you're servicing it, you could probably own your own home for less than $50,000.
Get grants for sure.
Yeah, and if you amortize that like a typical mortgage at 25 years, you're looking at payments of like $200, $250 a month.
Which would be about what somebody pays, in a low income housing situation. So,
but they're building equity.
Living.
And they're building equity, they're contributing to the economy, and they are being responsible for their own property.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's a great idea. And
I don't know all the details on how to make it work, but I definitely think that it's something that should be looked at.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you're interested in buying a tiny house, we don't have any here.
But we can work on it.
But we're trying to work on it. And please post comments and let us know what you think about this tiny house movement type thing. It's on Netflix. There's a whole bunch of information on the internet because they have a lot of information on the internet.
I love the internet.
Right? And come visit us on our Facebook page, kingstonhomesforyou.ca. It's our website. Check it out on YouTube. And thank you very much for watching.